Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew. So the footage here, currently in my video here. The footage, what it looked like when I shot the video, very, like a desaturated kind of looking. That looks more like the color of my hand on here. And you can see there's some more, the green purples more pops out. It looks better here. You can see more colors pop and stuff. The background looks whiter and stuff. This one you can totally tell there's a background. This one looks more like emptiness. So I will see you guys there. Wow. Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome back to another Chewy Mew review. Today we're taking a look at the final figure from this box set, and that is Green Goblin. Definitely one of my favorite figures from the box set, which I've said that about most of these figures. In this figure, I lost his bag, which I made a custom. I lost his glider, which I made a custom. I lost his stand, and I didn't make a custom. But this figure, very awesome. Like pretty much I think all of the figures in this box set, or most of them, were based off a previous mold. And this guy is based off of another mold, which was from a Spider-Man Classics Hobgoblin figure that looks like a very creepy Hobgoblin. Looks more like Demo Goblin, which Hasbro in the Spider-Man Origins line, they actually turned it into a Demo Goblin figure. And this figure uses the same mold as those other guys. But first, let's take a look at the bag. So I made this bag out of dried pieces of clay. I made a strap for it, and this is made out of a bunch of clay pieces that I just super glued together. So he's got like the little part where the bag opens, a little button, and like a little flappy thing. It doesn't actually open because, that doesn't happen. And then here's the glider. So this glider, I actually made it for, I made it for some other Green Goblin. I don't know which one I made it for. Sorry, I keep yawning. I woke up like maybe an hour and a half ago and I'm still a little tired. And there's the glider. It's got a goblin, or the gargoyle face. I put some clay here for like texture and stuff. I painted all of this. It was actually just a piece of cardboard that I painted it. I put these 4 little circle ball things on the bottom to give it like, to even it out and not make it just lay on the ground flat. Because without it, it would just look like a thick piece of cardboard laying on the table. I use this Lego flame connected to this other piece of clay. And the glider, the way he stays on is I use these other pieces of like a Lego staff. I made holes in the glider. These were the other holes, but they were too big and the pegs would just fall off Goblin's feet. And these 2 pegs here, I want to detach the Goblin. I just pull the feet. I hold the peg, just pull the feet up. You can see I made these little like pumpkin bomb design looking things. There's the glider on its own. I think it looks pretty good. You can totally see how I painted it on here. Set that aside. And here's the Green Goblin. This figure looks really, really awesome. I think he goes perfectly with the Spider-Man figure. I think out of all the figures, the Spider-Man and Green Goblin fit perfectly together in this box set. Like these two look, the dark shading, the kind of creepiness of the Goblin, the super muscularness of Spider-Man. To me, it looks very much like those figures fit a lot together. I don't know why the camera has like so much noise to it now. Like everything looks really fuzzy. I don't know why that happens. Maybe it's because I'm recording for so long the camera just gets fuzzy. It looks like he has this like metallic shininess to his texture, which he does. All of it, the arms, the head, all the green parts, they're very metallic looking. They're very metallic looking. These parts aren't, they're just crazy shiny, but they're not metallic. You can see it looks like the gloves have rips on them and stuff. Like looks kind of like a Green Goblin suit that's like been damaged in a way. Where you can see like the gloves are crinkling, the suit's all wrinkled. Like very creepy, very skinny looking. These joints used to be purple, but the paint wore off on them. The weird thing is when you bend these in, you can see inside of here, which that's very strange. Because I think they made this figure, this was from that Hobgoblin figure that I said, 2002 or 2003 figure. When Toybiz was still trying to figure out how to do like super articulated figures, and this was basically like the prequel to butterfly joints, which at the time the Hobgoblin was the only way to have something like butterfly joints. And since Toybiz and no toy company really knew what they were doing yet, they went for that route, which I think that's totally fine. Since this is a mold from 2002, to me that's perfectly fine. You can see the Green Goblin has an Adam's apple right there. You can see the color. His color looks kind of dark in the camera and looks kind of like that in real life. But I still think it looks great nonetheless. Here's more of his boots. The boots look kind of like a goblin, gremlin kind of thing, like you'd see in a horror movie or something, and I think that fits really well. I feel like if Sam Raimi went for a green goblin, like a comic book looking Green Goblin figure, I think he would go something towards this. Like, very creepy, kind of like disturbing looking Green Goblin figure. I think it looks absolutely great. Even the hands are kind of crunched up like creepy, like, oh, come here, boy. I don't know what I'm doing here. There's the belt buckle. Move the belt out of the way. There's his belt buckle, and along with the belt, he has a crazy, crazy skinny waist. It's very muscular, but also kind of looks like he hasn't eaten. Like, look how narrow his stomach is. Like, he hasn't eaten in a while. Like, you can see the costume looks extremely skin tight. You can see, like, the ribs, the belly joint. You can actually see his belly button in there. Like, right next to the corner of this, you can see his belly button in there. Very, very creepy looking. I really like the way it looks. It's very much creepy. For the longest time, this was my only comic book style Green Goblin. Because for the longest time, my only Green Goblin, since 2002 until this box that came out, this was my Green Goblin. This was my only Green Goblin. And this was my second one. This one I got in 2002, like when the movie came out, around that time. Can't remember if I got it brand new or at a yard sale, but I got that one. I think I got it new. And then this one I got like 2 years later. And before then, I didn't have any other Green Goblins. There was this Toybiz Green Goblin that looked kind of like Rhino. Like he had an all gray suit. His suit was pretty much all gray. The face was green, and like all of the gloves and stuff was purple, but it looked weird. Like very kind of like he was wearing Rhino armor. To me, it just looked really weird. But this Green Goblin was definitely pretty awesome. I did get the other Green Goblin you saw, the Toybiz Marvel Legends Onslaught Green Goblin, the one I called like the best Green Goblin figure ever. And I still believe that. This guy's definitely pretty awesome too. I love all the Green Goblins I have, except for one of them. And this figure is definitely one of those Green Goblins that I love. He has it's not like, it's not like very comic book style Green Goblin. It's more like a creepy, like if there was like a Green Goblin creepypasta, this is exactly what I imagine he'd look like. Very awesome, very fun figure to play with. I had a lot of fun playing with this figure. And let's take a look at Goblin Boy's articulation. So the head rotates all the way around. You get some of that good old clicking sound, that good old 2002 clicking sound. The joints, the butterfly joints are kind of butterfly-y. They can go out. I feel like they're going to break. I doubt they're going to break, but they just feel really, really weird. They don't stay in either. I was actually thinking maybe to super glue the joints in, which I'm probably not going to do. The arms rotate all the way around. They go up all the way. There's rotation here in the bicep, I think. Single bend in the elbow, because Toybiz didn't yet know how to completely implement double jointed stuff. Rotation here at the start of the glove. Nothing in the hands or the wrist, but I'm kind of glad because it would break up the sculpt. The torso here has a ball joint where the waist swivel would be. It does have a waist swivel, but there's also a ball joint. I think that's really good as well how they did that, where you can get them to hunch forward, go back, side to side. Very good. That it's a weird to have a ball joint there, but I think that's awesome how it doesn't break up the sculpt with how creepy and skinny his stomach looks. The legs kick up all the way. They don't go back really at all. Of course, Green Goblin can do the splits. No self-respecting Green Goblin would not do the splits. Single bend in the knee, rotation here in the bicep, the thigh, I guess. Rotation here in the boot. This joint's really, really tight, because as a kid, I didn't even know it could rotate here. The foot hinges forward and back pretty good. And that's all for the Green Goblin's articulation. So let me know what you think about this figure. Let me know what you think about his creepiness. On a scale from 1 to creepy, how creepy do you think this guy is? And leave a like on this video if you liked it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on, let's be honest. You gotta subscribe if you want to see more crazy reviews by Chewy Mew. And I will see you guys in the next review.